The Forbidden Bride of Umuaka, when the moon chose a bride. The night the moon refused to move, every creature in Umuaka knew that something had gone wrong between heaven and earth. The air was heavy, swollen with the smell of dust and fear. Dogs hid under the huts, goats bleated without reason, and the elders whispered that the goddess of the moon, Ani-Ocha, was awake again after 100 harvests of silence. Umuaka was not like other villages. It lay where the red earth met the dark forest, where wind carried voices and rivers forgot their names. Children were told never to whistle after sunset because spirits might answer. That evening, the villagers gathered in the square for the festival of the moon. It was the season of planting, and everyone prayed that the sky would open with rain. Drums rolled like thunder, flutes sang like birds, and dancers painted in white clay moved in circles around a great fire. Among the maidens stood Nkemdili, daughter of the high priest Oduche. She was only 21, tall and graceful like a young palm tree. Her skin glowed brown like ripe groundnuts. Her eyes caught every flame and turned it into gold. When she smiled, even the stubborn market women forgot their anger. She wore a wrapper of blue woolly patterns, beads around her neck, and cowries in her hair. Beside the forge at the edge of the square stood Obinna, the blacksmith's son. He was 26, strong-armed, his chest bare, muscles shining with the sweat of his work. His smile came rarely, but when it did, it carried peace. He had come only to watch the dance, but his heart beat faster each time Nkemdili turned. Old women murmured, "That girl is too beautiful, the spirits will notice." And indeed, the spirits noticed. The moon suddenly stopped moving across the sky. It hung above the square, bright and wide like an opened eye. Every drum fell silent. Even the wind held its breath. Then a voice not human, not earthly, flowed through the air. "From among you, the moon shall choose her bride." The people fell to the ground. The priest Oduche lifted his staff and cried, "Ani-Ocha has spoken." A white wind swirled around the maidens. One after another they trembled, but only Nkemdili remained standing. Her hair lifted though no breeze blew. The moonlight wrapped around her like cloth. "Behold," the priest shouted, "the goddess has chosen her own bride." The crowd gasped. Some clapped in fear, others wept. For every child of Umuaka knew what that meant. Once chosen, the maiden belonged not to any man, but to the goddess herself. No mortal could touch her. Obinna watched as the white glow faded from her skin. His heart twisted like hot iron. Something inside him whispered, "This cannot be the end." That night, while the village feasted in awe, Nkemdili sat alone by the river. She stared at the moon's reflection trembling in the water. "Why me?" she whispered. "I never asked to be a goddess's bride." Behind her, footsteps touched the sand. She turned and saw Obinna. He said softly, "The moon may choose, but your heart is still your own." "Do not speak such words," she warned, fear flashing in her eyes. "The goddess hears everything." "Let her hear," Obinna replied. "If love is a sin, then let her judge me." The wind sighed through the palm leaves. Somewhere, an owl cried. The river shimmered brighter, as if listening. Nkemdili looked into Obinna's eyes and saw courage and danger mixed together. For a moment, she forgot the goddess, the priest, and the laws of Umuaka. She reached out her hand. Their fingers touched, and the water rippled like silver fire. From far away, the temple gong rang once. Boom! They pulled apart, frightened. "The goddess knows," she whispered. "She always knows." Obinna took a step back. Then let her know that I love you. Her eyes filled with tears. She said, love can destroy more than hatred. Go before it is too late. But Obinna did not go. He watched her disappear into the forest path, her white beads catching the moonlight like falling stars. He knew then that his life had changed forever. The following days, the village buzzed with preparation for the sacred wedding between the goddess and her chosen bride. The maidens ground camwood and painted Nkemdili's body in red and white patterns. Priests carved a new mask for Ani-Ocha's spirit. Obinna kept away, but his heart burned. Each hammer strike in the forge sounded like the priest's drum calling her away from him. His mother, Ezima, noticed. She was a small, quiet woman with kind eyes and hair as gray as smoke. One night she said, "My son, do not stare too long at what belongs to the gods." Obinna looked at her. "Mother, have you ever loved someone you were forbidden to touch?" Ezima's hands froze over the cooking pot. She said slowly, "Some doors, once open, cannot be closed without blood." He frowned. "What do you mean?" But she only shook her head. "Sleep early. Dreams travel faster when the moon is full." That night, Obinna dreamt of a woman made of light standing beside the forge. She wore Nkemdili's face, but her eyes were silver. She said, "Break the chain or become it." Then she vanished into smoke. He woke drenched in sweat. Outside, the moon still hung unnaturally bright. When morning came, a rumor spread that the moon would not set until the sacred marriage was complete. Crops began to dry. Roosters crowed at strange hours. Elders said the balance between day and night was broken. The priest Oduche grew more powerful. He thundered, "The goddess demands obedience. Any who defy her will bring darkness upon us." But in secret, Nkemdili and Obinna met by the old Iroko tree. Each meeting was a stolen heartbeat. "Nkemdili," she whispered one night, "I cannot breathe inside this destiny." "Then run with me," he said. "There are villages beyond the hills where no one knows of Ani-Ocha." She hesitated. "My father would curse us. The spirits would follow." "Let them follow," he said. "Let the moon chase us across the earth. I will not let you face this alone." She touched his face gently. "If we run, we must never return." He nodded. "So be it." They sealed the promise with a kiss, soft, trembling, dangerous. The forest rustled as if clapping for them. But behind the trees, unseen, another pair of eyes watched. Ekena, Obinna's closest friend, his heart filled with jealousy and confusion. He turned away, his thoughts dark as night. That evening, the drums changed rhythm. The high priest announced that the goddess herself would descend during the next full moon to claim her bride. Until then, Nkemdili must stay within the temple grounds. Ekena volunteered to guard the shrine. The priest accepted gladly. Inside his heart, Ekena told himself he was protecting his friend, but another voice whispered, "Tell the priest what you saw. Save the village from curse." And so, as the moon rose higher, Umuaka prepared for a wedding between heaven and earth, unaware that love and betrayal had already begun to weave a darker ceremony. If you are still feeling the chills of this story, type Umuaka in the comments and let the ancestors see your heart.